This is Riviera's new 78 motor yacht. Now the interesting thing about this is they launched this about 6 months ago. They've already sold 12 of them. It's been a really popular boat for them, and when we go on board you'll see why, because the accommodation on this and the layout is pretty impressive. So we'll head on as usual on the bathing platform. Now straight away we're seeing some interesting stuff here, because there is tender storage forward on this one, which I'll show you, but you can also put a tender on here. You can take these rails out and they stow away. I'll show you in a minute. But it's a drop platform as you'd expect to launch and recover it. But as it goes down, these steps come down into place. So you have 1, then 2, and then 3 down into the water. But you can also reverse it and bring this up, and then it's step up, up again, and onto here, out onto the quay. So if you want to use this as a passerelle, you can do. Now in here, this is basically the toy box. So this is where you keep your sea bobs and your swimming gear and all that kind of stuff, whatever you want to keep in there. That's what that's for. These little V-shaped things go on here to put your tender on if you want to store your tender on the bathing platform, and these sockets here are to put these rails in so it can all stow away. We're going to head on board this way. What I'm going to do with this one, I think, is take you around the outside first of all, and then we'll head in and up, because there's a lot to show you. We've got side boarding gates here. We can head up this way. Love the illuminated Riviera badges they put on these. They look so cool. We've got all the waste and diesel fillers down on the side here. It's obviously not a waste filler, it's a waste exit, but you get the idea. If we come up here, there's a side access door. We'll see that from the inside, obviously, in a moment. We come up here onto the foredeck. What's great with that side access door just there is you can come out of the main deck, come forward, and then there's a walkway through into this great seating area up here on the front. These are deck lockers. So you've got tons of space to put gear away, fenders and warps and all that kind of stuff. Everything feels so solid on this boat. And then we'll come right around the front here and show you this. These are lift sections. They will drop flat if you want to extend the seating, or lift them up to sit facing forward. We've got the anchor handling kit on the front, but this is a really lovely social space. I mean, just a whole ton of seating all the way around here. That's fantastic. And this is what I mean about the ability to put a tender on the front, because there is a davit crane here, so you can lift your tender up, swing it in and drop it in place here and keep the bathing platform free if you want to. It also means this owner, for example, is planning to keep a jet ski up here and his tender on the back, so it just gives you a load more versatility. These little fellas here are to put poles in, so you can have a bimini across here that goes right back to just above the windscreen, so you've got shade there if you want it. And then if we come back down this side, you can see that it's got the upper deck on this one as well. And I'll show you that from the inside. It really is quite spectacular. Let's come back down here. Again with the fillers, diesel and diesel. And then right on back there is a docking station back here as well. So that lives in there. So joystick control and so forth. And then here, this is brilliant because you can really tuck yourself into here. You're completely out of the wind. You've got the view out across the back of the boat. This is an electric blind that will roll up, or you can drop it down as it is now for privacy if you're stern to the quay. Big seating area here. But this, as an outside dining area that's sheltered by these side screens, is fantastic. You can also put screens in here as well if you want to, and really enclose this whole area. There's a bar area here, so this whole area is catered for. How many times can I get the word area into one sentence? And you've got fridges here, of course. You've got a bin in that one, and there is an ice maker in that one. And that lifts up for your double grills. So that is a particularly nice coppered area, but wait until you see the interior. Now what you can do here, this is a drop window, so you can retract that all the way down, and then this door slides, it's powered. Like so, obviously you can fix that open if you want to. If you have this drop down, then it opens this whole up, but it opens this whole area up. Otherwise it just powers, as you can see, automatically by itself. This time we'll actually go through it, shall we? There we go. So on the inside, galley is back here. You've got the twin Miele ovens. This is all refrigeration down here, so fridge just here, and these are big freezers down underneath it. Load of storage down underneath places like this, all the way around here. This kind of stuff. There's plenty of places to tuck stuff away. The Miele hob up here, and then more storage up in places like this. The reason that that one isn't solid there is because there's an extractor fan underneath it. And then the sink is over underneath here. 2 of those. Thusly, you've got more storage over on this side. You can see some steps coming down here. We will show you that obviously in a little while, but we're going to head forward first of all. Very comfortable social area in here. Also, this is like a dining area. You can put a couple of stools around this side or chairs or whatever, but you'll notice the leg goes down and across, and that's because you can tilt this backrest up and this whole thing will just pivot down. So that goes like that, disappears behind that backrest then folds down, disappears completely from sight. So that's really nice. You can have that completely open just as a social space or have the table out for dining. If we move forward again, another bar area up here. Another fridge, for example. You've got your wine cooler there as well. You've got your glasses in here. Another little sink at the top. Great view out across the front of the boat. That's the side access door that I mentioned. So you can, if you're catering, you can come out through here and straight round to that bow section. And then this stairway down here underneath the windscreens means you've got a fantastic atrium feel to this. A lot of natural light dropping down into here. Just opens the whole boat out. We're going to head forward first of all. VIP guest cabinets up here in the bow. What's nice about this is it's got the high gloss woodwork, but there's not too much of it. So you've got a lot of these pale finishings around the place. So it doesn't feel overwhelming. So you've got the feeling of the class of the polished wood, but you don't feel that it's overbearing. I think that's really nicely done. That one, there we go, little catch on the side. So hanging lockers in places like this. This is all storage up here. And you've also got it underneath the bed, which you need 2 hands to open ideally. There we go. And then more storage over there. TV is in here as well, of course, with a sound bar. And then that closes off like so. This one is en suite, as you'd expect. That's in here. Got the separate shower, the loo is in there, and the sink. And again, more little bits of storage about the place like this. These circular sections are opening sections, so if you want ventilation in here, you can have it. And you'll notice that all of them have got little wires on them. And the reason for that is because if you start the engines and any of these are open, it'll sound an alarm to let you know so you don't go to sea, start pouring seawater into your cabins. That's a very, very useful feature. Let's head back a bit further. Day heads is here. Again, with a separate shower stall, the toilet, the sink and so forth. Storage up in places like that. And if we come back again, then we've got guest cabin here. Now what you can do with this, you'll notice there's tracks in the floors. These will power together, so you can make this into a double if you prefer. And this one has the door here, straight into that day heads. So that becomes an ensuite at night. Obviously it all just closes up like so. You've got wardrobes in here again. Find the right catch, there we go, all illuminated. More storage up along the top here. But again, you can see that sort of light touch to the woodwork. It's here and it's here, but it's not here. And I think that works really well. If we head out again across this side, you've got another cabin here. This is cabin 4. This has got its storage tucked away down underneath here. Now they do a lot of customization with this. They've got an owner who's buying one of these, for example, who's having this as an office, which I think would be absolutely fantastic. Now at night, of course, this cabin uses the day heads, so that shares that one. But yeah, nice cabin that, and as I say, if you spec that as an office, that'd be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? Talk about working from home. Okay, let's head on back again. Owner's cabin is back here. Some really nice features in here. So for example, first thing we find, walk-in closet. Got the hanging rails there. Really lovely desk area down this side, or dressing table area, again with a big hull window. There's a lot of natural light into here, and again they've got the alarms on the opening sections. We've got a lovely big bed across here. There's a great place to tuck yourself away with a good book. If we come over this side, more storage down here. And then this is the ensuite to this cabin, biggest one in the boat, of course. You've got the twin sinks, the separate shower stall over there. And this is interesting, they've actually closed off the toilet section, so you've got a door here as well as a door here. So that's really nice. Fantastic. Okay, let's head on round we've got an upper deck as well on this yacht. That's that stairway where we came down, so we're going to go back up that way. That is very inviting, isn't it? Superb. Okay, this stairway here will take us on up. And what they've done here is put the helm position up here. And what that means is that it frees up that entire main deck for accommodation. That's why it's so big. You've got another lounge area here. You can in fact make this into like a day bed, which is great. You've got TV over here, so somewhere to relax of an evening. That's fantastic. You've got some nice touches as well, like the handrail in the ceiling here, so when you're walking around the boat, you've got something to hold on to. Big sliding roof section, and in fact, this whole window section here and the same on the other side will retract all the way down, so you can make this really open if you want to, or close it up as we've got it now. There is sink up here, so another bar area. You've got fridge in there and so forth, and then these really great seats across here. Very comfortable place to be when the boat is underway. How nice is that? The multifunction displays, 4 of them across here, and if we come around this way, you can see we've got all the switch gear across here. We've got the throttle controls, joystick control as well for docking, and then the usual bits and pieces, the Humphrey controls. The bow and stern thrusters are here, VHF radio, the operating system for the boat, that's in here, and so forth. These little fellas are all air conditioning controls. If you touch that, there we go, you can see the temperature of the boat. Very, very commanding helm, because we're really high up here, so you're looking out across the front like that. That works really well. And then the MAN engine instrumentation is up here on the top. But that is an unusual and generous space, extra space really, on a 78-foot yacht. Not often you find an upper deck on a 78-footer. Let's head back. Again, we've got the power door. I couldn't find the button. There's the button. There it is. Again, the power door. It's not that one, it's this one. That's why I couldn't find it. There we go. And then we're out onto the aft deck. So again, with the bar area. So we've got the bin there. We've got the ice maker in there. We've got fridge in there, sink, and so forth. The other thing you've got here, rather unusually, is another day head. So it's a day head for the upper deck, which is rather nice. This is very configurable to owner specification. So this is what this owner has gone for with the bar area here, the seating around here. Another one that they were telling me they've sold, they want a lot of sunbathing space. So instead of that, they've just got great big sunbeds out here. So it really depends what you want. But again, this is nice and sheltered. You've got these screens on the side here. You can tuck yourself in here, out of the wind. Fabulous view, just brilliant. They build these in Australia. Guess how I know. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, that is the upper deck. You've even got more docking stations up here. There's one on this side. I mean, what a great view of bringing the boat in. And then you've got another one over here as well. Like so. Brilliant. Okay, lots more to see. We've got crew cabin to show you. We've got the engine space to show you. And we're going to talk about performance because that's pretty impressive too. Okay, so we're back into here. It's nice, isn't it? We'll head back down these steps. What's quite clever with these is they are varnished, but I'll show you. Hopefully it'll come up. It's got like a sort of a non-slip surface. It's textured and grained, so they're not slippy to walk on in your socks. You can actually see the difference when it gets to the edge just there. Let's go back here. Loop on round. This is really interesting because the access to the crew area, we often find that on the outside of the boat. You go down the back and you go in through the back. In fact, there is access that way, but there is internal access down here as well, which is nice. So we can head down here. And here what we find is sleeping for one. You can have a second bunk there if you want. If you want two crew, you can have it. Remember, this is a 78-foot boat. It feels a lot bigger, but that's pretty standard for this size of boat. We've got heads down here as well, and that's like a wet room, so you've got the shower in there too. And the other thing we've got in here is the laundry facilities. They're in behind here. So you've got a washer and a dryer just in there. That's the cushion for that daybed up on the upper deck. So there's actually quite a decent little crew cabin for a 78 footer, and even a little cooker down there as well. But the other thing that we've got here is access then straight into the engine space. There we go. Now there are various engine options. These are the biggest, and they are a pair of MAN V12 2000 horsepower engines. They're going to give the boat about 34 knots flat out, which is really tramping on. Cruising mid-20s, 25, 26, 27, but at the other extreme, you can drop this boat right back down to displacement speeds. That's about 7.6 knots, just roughly, and then you're getting 2,500 miles of range. So it's got serious legs if you want them. It's also got serious performance if you want that. We've got air conditioning units down here, as you can see. These engines are lovely, aren't they, with these polished stainless steel sections along them. If you have a look over here, generators are in here, so there's one on this side and there's one on this side. And these engines are on V drives, so the power, rather than just going out and down, it comes out this way. You can actually see it coming out here into this V box, which sends the drive then back under, and these are the shafts that come down and out of the boat. And what that does is position the engines further back in the boat, because you imagine that with conventional shaft drive, shafts come up through into the boat, engines are up there. Put the engines up there, of course you lose a lot of that space, and that is one of the ways that they've got a lot of space into this boat. That, and the fact, of course, that it does have that upper deck, which takes the helm out of the main deck. But that, I think you will agree, is pretty impressive. If we head on back a little bit further, this is a Glendinning cable stowage system, because these cables are really heavy. So this is actually a powered system which winds the cable in into this drum, coils it up for you. We've got tool chests back here, and that is an access door straight back out onto the bathing platform. Useful as another way out of this area in an emergency, but it also means the crew can come in through here into their crew quarters without needing to go through the main accommodation if they prefer. Well, that is quite some engine room, isn't it? Fantastic. Okay, there we go. Let's come back out of here, and I think we will close that back up, wander around here, back past the galley, and I think we'll finish up back at the bar. Where else? And I am going to say massive thanks to Riviera Yachts. They closed this boat off in the middle of a busy boat show, so I can give you the full tour. Hope you've enjoyed that one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Massive thanks as ever to you guys for watching. We'll catch you on one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.